I'm actually pretty lost for words, and if you've been around here for a while, then you'll know that's kind of unusual for someone like me. What is up, people? Welcome back or to another video. For those of you who are new around here, a very warm welcome. I'm Jade and I'm super grateful to have you come and join us. So before we get started, I do have a little cut on my head. So before I get any comments about it, yes, I hit my head this week. It didn't knock any sense into me, much to everyone's disappointment. But anyway, moving on. I read this article in the wild and I could not wait to share with you guys my thoughts and feelings on this. Let me know down below if you have read it before or if you've come across it. And of course, your own opinions on the article itself. You know, I love hearing from you guys. So this article is all about a girl a woman who's hit 38 and suddenly, you know, crying about how she thinks that she's made the wrong decision. So Melissa Persling recently wrote an essay for Business Insider titled, "I'm 38 and single, and I recently realized I want a child. I'm terrified I've missed my opportunity." She said after it went viral in November, hate began to pour in from men telling her that she's lived a selfish life. Persling has a much different account of her story. So first and foremost, I never really understand these stories personally, and I had to read this a few times to fully grasp what I genuinely felt she was saying what she actually meant and how she was probably feeling deep down. And I hate when women jump onto this whole I'm child-free bandwagon to then change their minds in such a drastic way such as this. Now, I've said before, and I'm probably going to die on a hill saying this, I don't have a problem if you change your mind personally. Of course, you're allowed to maybe not want kids right now, and maybe it's something for the future. That's fine. However, one thing that I cannot understand and I cannot stand is when there are women like this who are constantly like jumping on the child-free bandwagon. They're like hard, aggressively child-free their whole lives. And then suddenly they hit a certain age and they're like, oh, actually, change my mind, I'm gonna have a kid. You've spent your whole life telling everyone who will listen that you're not having kids and that you're a die-hard child-free person. You don't want children, which by the way is absolutely fine. However, you've now gone back on yourself, and these are the exact stories that men get so much pleasure in reading, because this is the exact reason there are so many women out here who are constantly told time and time again, oh, you're going to change your mind, you're going to change your mind, you're going to regret it, you're going to regret it, because of people like this. At that time, I felt very strongly I did not want children, that I wasn't going to be like the traditional housewife. I knew I did want to pursue a career, she told Fox News Digital in an interview. And I felt very strongly that would never change. And I guess I was wrong. Well, what I found from this specific paragraph is I believe that she came from quite a traditional background, like a small town girl. She married a small town guy. They got together and she was immediately like, I'm not living this traditional life. And what I believe is when I read this, I was like, right, there's two kinds of rebels in this world. There's one rebel who they don't go against the grain to make noise. They do it because they genuinely don't want that lifestyle that they've grown up in, or they don't like the small town they're in, or they just want more. That's kind of like me. I'm like a rebel in my family, but I'm not doing it to make noise or to upset people or to piss people off. I'm doing it because I just simply didn't want that life. That's it. And then on the other side of the coin, there are people like Melissa who they just want to be a rebel because they're just a bit like angry about something that happened in their lives, or they don't like their small town, or they feel like a fish in a big pond. Do you know what I'm getting at? You know, they're kind of like, they're doing it because, you know, they're doing it to make a point. But deep down, it's not actually what they want. So what I'm getting from this article already, just from what I've read here, is that she's rebelling against her traditional lifestyle, but she's doing it for the sake of doing it and not actually thinking about what she deep down really wants in her life. And in all honesty, I just think that she's really confused as fuck. and she just doesn't really know what she wants, and she hasn't had time to actually just sit down and talk about it properly or think about it either with herself, with her partner, with her family. Like, she didn't go through the motions of absolutely like, do you know what? Let me just sit down and see if this is actually something I want or don't want. Let me just make some noise because I don't want to be a traditional housewife. There's a difference between, you know, making a difference to the next generation and showing the younger generations and your generation that, you know what, it's okay. You don't have to do this traditional path. You can go down another path and be happy. Or you can like be this, oh, I'm being so untraditional and unconventional. Look at me. That's what she's doing. So fast forward like 10 years, she's divorced, she's single again, she's out there having fun. And then what I believe has happened is that she's starting to feel really like guilty. She's starting to have loads of self-doubt. Have I done the right thing? Maybe I fucked up. Like, what the fuck? And this is what I don't get. Like, the mindset is very much like, if you read the article, I'm not going to read too much from it, but what I gathered from the article is that she was under the impression like you're either married and live a boring life or you're single and you have fun. And honestly, this is what I think so many people get wrong about marriage, is that they think like, oh, have all your fun when you're young, get it out of your system. I don't understand this saying. It's so fucking stupid. Get it out of your system. Like it's a disease. I don't know. Like they're like, get it out of your system, go and sleep around, go and have all your fun. And then when you're married, you can be boring and sit at home twiddling your thumbs, staring at one another. Like that is not what marriage is. And I think that I actually feel sorry for her in a sense, because she probably had an idea of marriage from maybe looking at her own parents or from the couples that she was surrounded with growing up, where they did genuinely have like boring marriages. Like they didn't do anything, they didn't go out, they didn't have fun. I think people get the wrong impression about marriage, because I know when I got married, I didn't stop having fun. I still go out with my husband and have fun. Like we still go out and have a laugh. We still laugh like children. He's not stopped having fun. He doesn't stop going out with his friends because he's married. I don't stop going out with my friends because I'm married. And this is where the disconnect is. People think, oh, you can only have fun when you're single, but not when you're married. It's like, okay, you can't cheat on your partner because I believe that's wrong, but you can have fun. You can go out, you can have a laugh, you can do activities with your own circle of friends, or you can do activity with your partner's friends. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, yes, it's a relationship and it's a legally bound relationship. However, if you're sticking to your vows, I don't remember anywhere in vows where you say, I don't remember in my vows saying like, I'm gonna stop having fun in order to stay loyal to you. In my opinion, the only thing you shouldn't really be doing if you're married is cheating on the other person. So I genuinely believe that she's just got confused about like, oh, when I was married, I couldn't have fun. Now that I'm single, I can go and have fun. And that's just a massive disconnect right there. But it continues. I was panic stricken. I really thought I'm going to be alone forever. It really scared me. I almost wrote the article as a sort of warning to other women. I don't want people to miss out on the important things in life because they're just out enjoying themselves. I don't think that's ever going to really make you happy, she said. She wrote in the article how she felt urgency to find a stable relationship and was rethinking about wanting marriage and children. I hardly recognized myself, she wrote in the article. I also began to feel selfish for spending so much time focusing solely on myself. My very existence started to feel shallow and hollow. Oh my God, this was the cringiest part to read. And I must say, well, it was cringe and then I just burst out laughing because this woman is low-key gaslighting herself. Like that's what it seems to me personally. If you think anything different, please let me know down below. I'd like to hear your viewpoint. I genuinely believe that now in this part of the article, she's like, actually, let me just translate it. She wants a child because she's starting to feel lonely. And we all know that loneliness is not a valid enough reason to bring another human being onto this planet. We've had this conversation before. Your child is not there to keep you company or to be your best friend or to be your carer for the future. And from what she's written here, I really thought I'm going to be alone forever and it scared me. She's suddenly this is fear. She hasn't suddenly changed her mind and suddenly got baby fever. She's got I'm scared of being alone fever. That's what she's got. Also, oh my God, I just found this was a bit propaganda-ish towards the end, but don't try and warn other women that this might happen to them. Because while people might regret not having children, they'll have different reasons for regret, because this genuinely sounds like you're scared of being alone, not you have baby fever. Because you already said before, you don't like the traditional lifestyle. You didn't like being a traditional wife. You didn't like doing, if you read the article, actually, I'll pop it down in the description box down below. If you actually read the article, she said that at one point she resented cooking and cleaning for her husband when he asked for it. So if you don't like things like that, then what do you think your life will be like with a child on the scene? Because you're still going to be doing all the cooking and the laundry and the cleaning for your husband. You're then going to be doing 100 times that amount of work with a child on the scene. And you will be getting up and doing all the night feeds. And you will be the one holding the baby quite literally while your husband goes out to work. You are the one who is left at home. So if you already don't like your traditional life that you lived with your husband when you were married, I don't understand how she thought a baby was going to make this all magically better. She says, I feel unbelievably betrayed by feminism, and I don't want to put it all on the movement entirely because I believe you make your own choices. But I was constantly fed this idea that women can do everything, that we don't really need a man. I kind of want to go back to some of those teachers and coaches and say, what did you mean by that? Because we can't do it all. Well, oh my God. Right. So yeah, you're right. We can't do it all. And we are fed that we can have it all. However, blaming feminism overall is just a weak standpoint. And you cannot be pushing 40 and blaming the whole fucking world and society for your poor choices, because the bottom line is, it's your decision. You make it for yourself. We're all fed this bullshit, Melissa. Okay? Like, we are all fed this bullshit. I was fed this bullshit. You as a viewer, you've more than likely been fed this as well. We've been told from all angles that, oh yeah, have it all. Look, you can have the house, you can have the career, you can have the business, you can have the babies, you can have the body. Like, it's up to you which parts of it you want to take. Like, I got fed the same bullshit. However, I used to look at it and I used to cherry pick the parts I wanted. I used to be like, yeah, I like the idea of a good career and having some money. Don't really want the babies. I'm all right, thanks. That's what you should have done as well. Like, I know it's not always easy because people are scared of judgment, and I get that. But you can't be pushing 40 and blaming the fucking world because you're now 38 and like, oh shit, have I made the right decision? You are the one shouting child free from the top of your voice. It just seems like she's really lacks boundaries. She, not so much boundaries, definitely lacks a lot of confidence. She's probably shit scared to do something like against the grain, but she kind of craves it at the same time. So she's one of those people, like, she wanted to go against the grain, maybe to make a point, and then probably got shit scared, like, fuck, I'm gonna get all this judgment and I don't know if I can handle it. And that is genuinely what I believe has taken place in this scenario. But thank you so much for joining me on this journey, guys. Make sure you give this video a massive thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.